this is Chris. Welcome to lesson one of family systems in the book or the study workshop, Art from the Heart. My goal in writing this is to develop some curriculum that would get us thinking about our family system, what was good about it, and where maybe some lies started in our hearts that they kind of rule or filter through our thoughts and our beliefs about ourselves and about our value and about God. And I just wanted to let you know that, my goal for this program is that women would be able to connect with one another and minister to one another to identify lies. And that it's funny because God gave me a dream that I was a flight attendant and I had to hurry because I had all these passengers, and I was supposed to hurry up and get on the plane and load up to take care of them. And when I woke up, I knew it was a God dream. I'm like, well, God, what does a flight attendant do? Like, why a flight attendant? And I thought, flight attendants give you refreshment on your journey. They're there to help you on one leg of your journey. And so that is my job, I think, right now, is that I'm a holy flight attendant, sharing and hopefully giving you refreshment, food and beverages to snack on along your journey. I wanted just to talk real quick that just to respect the sanctity of the group. Right now you're gathered together and you're scared. I was scared. I'm scared every time I get together with strangers. I'm afraid they're not going to like me. I'm afraid that if I really show my true self to them, that they're going to reject me. And it's hard for me to go out. I kind of am a little bit of an introvert and just want to stay home. But if you're watching this, you're obviously longing for something more. And so I just wanted to just encourage you that it's just congratulations, because you did it afraid. You're here, you're watching, you're listening, you're open, and God will honor that. This program that I've developed isn't a how-to program. I'm kind of scared because, or I guess I'm just like, not scared, but I am trusting God to show up because I don't know how it's going to end. I had this lesson. I have questions that we're going to ask. I have thoughts that we're going to ponder, but only God can reveal. And I can't give you truth. I can speak my truth and I can speak the truth as I have received it, but I can't give you truth. Only the Holy Spirit can reveal and give you truth. And so I'm just having to trust that I'm being faithful to doing my part. And so, God, you have to show up for us. You know where each one of us are on our journey in this life and with our past. And so you have to show up. And you said that you had none to teach us, but that God himself, the Holy Spirit, would come and be our teacher. And so today we just lean on you, that at the end of this lesson, each person will receive what they have to receive. So the first thing that I want to talk about is family systems. Some of you might say, oh, I came from a great family. Some of you might say, no, my family, it was dysfunctional. And some of you, may have run away from home because your family was so terrible. And God says that he put the lonely in families. So for some reason, God has chosen this as his design for us. And the reason why I want to start with families is I want to start really kind of broad. None of us are going to dive in and go to any really deep, intimate places with one another until some trust is built. And so I wanted to start with our family systems. The reason why family systems are so important is that teachers know that when a child comes to school by about the age of 5 or 6, their personalities are formed. They already have beliefs about themselves. They already have likes and dislikes, things that they find funny, quirks in their personality. So your family systems are the places where your personality was formed, your beliefs were formed, my beliefs were formed, and there's a grid system that whatever we receive in life, any information we receive, it has to filter through this grid. Now think about a grid as almost like a sieve, like if you were going to drain spaghetti, that your family system is like a woven placemat where first whatever comes in filters through, the political beliefs you had in your family, the Christian beliefs you had in your family, the things that you were told, both good and bad, in your family. And so we're going to start talking about family, our family system, and what was our family system like. I wrote some little notes down to make sure. When we talk about our family roles and rules, we're going to discover that some of the things that we believe about ourselves and we believe about others that developed in our family system do not align with what God says about us. And so through this all, we are going to take what we believe and what we learned and what we filters in our mind, and we're going to hold it up and we're going to compare it to what God says about us. And we're going to have to choose and understand that we hold what God says about us as most true. What is most true about us is that we're the beloved of God, we're His creation, and we have value, not because of anything we do, but simply because He says we have value. And for all of us, we in our family, we did something to try to earn our value. We're going to ask ourselves the questions, what was my role? Was I the black sheep? Was I the funny one? Was I the helpless one? Was I the favorite? We all had roles, and we're going to talk about and think about what our roles are. I just want you to remember that there's no perfect families, and we bless our families, because if it wasn't for our family, we wouldn't be here. Some tragedies happened in our families that really hurt us, but those also help to form us. And I'm a great believer that those who have been wounded and receive much from God will love Him much. So it's almost to me like I'm one of those radical, crazy Christians, I guess. I'm here, you're listening to me. But if you or other people had received what I had from God, you'd be radical and crazy too. So that is the truth. What I really want to talk about right now, and what I want you to think about, is something called the don't talk rule. The don't talk rule is almost the litmus test of an abusive dynamic. The don't talk rule is something that is applied all the time whenever there is a legitimate problem, there is a legitimate issue, a legitimate character flaw that somebody talks about or confronts or mentions. And when that person talks about or tells, it gets turned or twisted on them where they become the problem. An example of this is like when my son was getting bullied at school, and when we took it to the administration and the kids were confronted, it got twisted and turned that the problem wasn't that my son's getting jabbed with a sharp pencil in class when the teacher's back is turned. The problem is he told somebody that he was getting jabbed with a pencil when the teacher's back was turned. And of course, this was after him trying to handle it physically and things. But so the don't talk rule is this insidious thing. I was just listening to a friend of mine who's a teacher, and she was saying that there's a very negative, horrible person on that they know that they teach with that will physically get another teacher into the corner and scream at them. And when the person went to talk and said what happened, then she got in trouble for gossiping. So the problem became you gossiped about the problem, not that the teacher surrounded you and confronted you and backed you into a corner. And that's the don't talk rule. Whenever there's sexual abuse, the don't talk rule is in play. So I want us to think about that, where somehow they can shift and say, you know what, they say to us, like for me, it was like, you don't talk about what goes on in the family. You don't say anything that goes on in the family. That brings shame on the family name. What happens in our house stays in our house. So, the problem just got to be where I had to be quiet about the problem. Sometimes they might not, the don't talk rule might not be stated verbally. It might be communicated non-verbally. For example, if you have a parent that you have switched roles with, where you are maybe more like the mother and you are the one who is the caretaker and you're taking care of a parent, sometimes what happens is you insidiously get communicated to you that you have to protect the parent. The child has to protect the parent, that they can't handle it. So this is something for us to just think about when we're doing our family systems. So today, I hope that God blesses you, and that at the end of this, you will pray about what you talk about, that you will keep each other's confidences, and that you will receive all that God has for you today. So God bless, and may you receive much from Him and much healing. Take care. Bye.